Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. And if you've been following my channel for any length of time, you'll know that this is my car, a Canadian Mini. And it's got a problem that I haven't run into before, but I'm hoping I know what the answer is. So I was out driving my car, I don't know, a few weeks back, and I noticed that the gear shift was getting difficult to engage gears, particularly at slow speeds, and reverse started grinding. And I had rebuilt that entire gearbox, so I know it's not a problem in the box itself. It seemed like whenever I put the clutch down, I could not get the lay shaft to disengage. So either I've got some sort of clutch problem that's developed, or I've got a problem with the primary gear, or something combination of both those problems. Either way, we're going to be digging into this clutch assembly and finding out what's going on with this, because I really want to be driving this car. It's the middle of summer, and it's been unfortunate to not be able to drive this car for essentially months on end while I've worked on the other Mini that was here. So let's dig into this clutch bell housing area and see what's happened to this thing. Before I go any further, I just want to mention that yes, my hydraulics are working properly. The clutch is properly adjusted. There's only a small gap between the throw-out stopper and the arm itself when you pull the lever out. And I've adjusted those nuts down there a few more flats out, so I'm not having a disengagement problem. It has nothing to do with hydraulics or this part of the mechanical linkage itself. So it's something internal. Either maybe the pin is broken off the arm, or perhaps it's a clutch problem, or again, like I mentioned earlier, a primary gear problem. But let me start taking stuff apart and find out what happened. Now, the one thing I do mention is that this job is doable in the car, as other people have done before. Now, the only thing you really need to watch out for, if you're not going to take the radiator out, is when you lift the engine up, you want to make sure that the fan blades don't hit the radiator itself. But other than that, just be careful when jacking this up, because you are going to have to take off the lower engine mount over here to get the clutch cover off. So it's only going to be held up by a floor jack or axle stands or something. So if you are attempting to do this job, just be careful when you unmount that assembly. So, like always, I've disconnected power, so there's no battery power up here, so there's no risk of having any shorts. Like I always do whenever I work on any of these cars, I just disconnect the power. It's a good habit to be in. But now that we've got some of the stuff cleared out of the way, what I'm going to do first, I'm actually going to remove the clutch arm, just in case the ball has broken off of the arm itself. If that's the case, then I can just replace the arm and not have to take all this apart. But this is the one area that I don't know what it's going to look like until I take it apart. So let me get the arm out and have a quick look at it. If it is a broken ball, that'll be great, because it's a much easier fix than taking all of this apart. So I've got the arm out, and there is just minor wear and tear on the ball. There's no breakage of it, so as I feared, I'm going to have to go into the clutch housing and find out what's going on, because this looks fine. So to do this job, you've got to get all these perimeter bolts out. There are many that go around the entire perimeter of the clutch housing. Two of them are really buried down the bottom. And of course, you got to get the engine mount disconnected to get this cover off. And you've got to jack the engine up a bit to get this cover out of the way. So it's a bit of a chore to get this get into this far, but it's what I got to do. So just take your time, especially on those lower bolts. It is possible to do them. Sometimes you need wobbly socket joints, or you might have to make a special wrench or something, but you can do those lower bolts. It's just a nuisance. So as you can see, the clutch cover is now removed, so we have access to the clutch diaphragm and flywheel. So since I need to remove this flywheel assembly, I need to take off the circ clip and the little throw-out surface for the throw-out bearing to get access to the nut that holds the flywheel to the crankshaft. So get this off, get in here, get the flywheel bolt out, and then we can withdraw this whole clutch flywheel as an assembly off of the crankshaft. So as you can see, I've got my KED flywheel puller attached, and I'm going to try and loosen up the flywheel. I think it's going to come off easily because it's only been on here for about 2,000 miles. And yeah, I think it's just going to come off smoothly. At least smoother than the last one I had to do. But this is what it looks like. So I went ahead and applied a bit of torque to this, and like I thought, it was not on here very hard, so thankfully I was able to do, just an open-end wrench on this end. Normally I have to use an impact, so this is normally a tool I'll use when the engine's out of the car, but my shorter version of this is broken, so I had to use my long version and I had to use an open-end wrench. But as you can see, the flywheel is now loose on the crankshaft, so I just need to withdraw the tool and I'll get the flywheel off. So, flywheel's out of the way. I'm now at the primary gear, as you can see here. And it's got an interesting problem. So if I spin it this way, spins free, no problem. As soon as I rotate it this way, it locks up and starts pushing the key out. So I'm gonna take this primary gear out and see what's going on here. There might be a gall or something, but it's definitely acting like a one-way clutch, and it's, you know, as you can see here, just push the keyway out. So I'm gonna have a look and see what's going on here. Right, so here are all the parts. I haven't noticed anything particularly bad. I didn't notice any galling on the bushes. They all looked about the same. However, I did notice that the leading edge of this bush and the back face here show a particular amount of shininess to them. And I noticed that this new ring here did have some interesting high spots and low spots on it. So I think what's happened is I've just lost my clearance. I know I set this to factory clearances, but it seems like it's just gotten a bit tight for some reason. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run these across this flattening surface here on this bit of sandpaper just to take out any high spots. This is a brand new C-clip. I might go find a good used one just to get a bit extra clearance in here. And then, yeah, I'm just going to give this a surfacing and this a surfacing just to take off any burrs. And then I'll reassemble it and lubricate this bush before I refit it, because I think that was also another problem, is that this bush was a bit dry. So hopefully all was good on this, and I'll just have to drive it and find out. So as you can see, the gear is refit to the crank here. With the original C-clip and ring that I had fitted earlier, I measured the clearance to be a very tight 3. So for whatever reason, it got a bit tighter as I drove it, and I think the tightness was just binding up on the gear. So what I've gone ahead and done is refitted an older C-clip, good used one. So now I've got about 10th out clearance. So that hopefully doesn't happen in the future. So I'll get this all reassembled, get it back together, and then go off for a test drive and see how it dries. But I think that was the biggest problem, was that I just didn't have sufficient clearance on this primary gear. So it was just binding up. Very interesting problem. And just like that, it's all back together. So clutch arm has been adjusted at the adjuster there. The stops have been set properly. So hydraulically, we're back to exactly where we were when we started. And yeah, everything's been reassembled. So I just need to back it out of the garage and see if it's fixed my problem. So fingers crossed, this will do it. Well, I've been out for a test drive and everything feels normal again in this car. I was able to get into reverse without grinding. No more problems. It feels like it was before I had the problem with the primary gear. So I'm going to say this is totally fixed. So if you guys found this video interesting or helpful, let me know in the comments below. As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys soon.